This Gundam's been neglected for too long. Hello, it's the Gemin again. In this video, we will be taking a look at the Master Grade Gundam Mark II version 2.0. Take note that this is actually just the AEUG version. There's actually a Titans version that looks like this. I chose the AEUG version because they're the good guys, and this has something that the Titans version doesn't, and I'll get to that later. Let's take a look at the Gundam itself. This is the Mark II straight out of the box, no panel lining, no nothing. It looks pretty plain, but that's probably because the build was also plain and simple. But if you look closely, we have all these divots on the armor. I just didn't fill them in because I'm planning to paint this kit anyway. For the cool details that actually come straight from the box though, we have these braided tubes for the backpack and the back of the legs. We also have these chrome plated pistons in the ankle, so yeah, if you put the work in and do your panel lining, your Mark II will definitely look good even if it's not a full paint job. For poseability, the head is on a double ball joint, so you can pretty much do whatever you want with that. The shoulder armor doesn't bend independently, but the whole shoulder can shift up like this, and that way you can get the arm this high. Arm goes all the way around. There's this flap here, arm swivels, sliding armor on the forearm, really good elbow bend, wrist is on a ball joint plus a hinge for that dynamic posing. Since this is a 2.0 kit, we have a trigger finger, 3-finger, and thumb with the peg in the palm. Not that much for torso articulation, but it has, for me, the best cockpit gimmick ever. It's simple and easy, and you can actually see the pirate figure inside. The skirt armor moves like this, and like nothing. There's this opening hatch though for some weapon storage. We'll get to that later. The hip joint is in this old school ball joint and it's on a track. Lets the leg go up just this high, this much back, meh. Just an okay split because of those ball joints. And man, are they loose. Let's see if I can at least try to make things better by adding some tape and... Moving on, we have this thigh swivel that's also loose because the peg doesn't have anything to lock into. It just slides into that tiny polycap. With all those weird things out of the way though, we have one of the best leg bends of all time. It has sliding thigh armor, splitting knee armor, shifting armor on the shins, the tubing goes inside, the pistons move in and out. Everything here just seems very well thought of. I just wish they also worked a lot harder for those hips. Cause you know what they say, hips don't lie. Moving on, ankle pivots this much side to side. Not a 360 rotation since it has these shiny pistons in place. The whole foot moves up this far and down this far. But the toe bends are really good. Plus there's this out of nowhere ankle bend. With slight modification, I think we can forgive this old kit with loose hips. It was probably a period of time that didn't give Bandai all the tech they needed to make this the best kit it could be. The Mark II has so much potential for really good poseability. It's just that those loose hips make it kinda hard to put this guy in a really cool pose. And putting this up in the air is also kind of hard because it doesn't have an action-based adapter. You'll have to use one of these fork things. And I think the other stuff that comes with this kit makes up for that 10 times over. We have the shield that has some really good details. The shield actually has these yellow stickers. I don't really like stickers, but I put them on just to show you guys what they look like. The shield also has this sliding gimmick. That's what it does in the anime, so it's really cool that they worked that into this kit. To attach this to the mobile suit, we just have this adapter that plugs into the back of the arm. And we can slide the shield either here or here. Next up is the rifle. It's basically like any other old school Gundam rifle, but I've got to say that part separation and surface detail is molded in really nicely. The sensor folds like this for when it's stored, and the secondary handle bends like this for more posing options. The ammo pack is actually removable, and we have 2 extra. which can be stored in the back of the shield like this. Since this is a 2.0 kit, we have these tabs in the hands that slot into the weapons handles, like so. Or if you don't want the Gundam using the rifle, you can either put it back in the box or slide it in the side skirt like this. The bazooka or cannon is actually really well thought of. It's just this one whole tube that you attach the other parts on. Anyway, it's really easy to get this into the Gundam's hands because the handle bends like so. It also has this removable ammo, but only has one extra unlike the rifle which has two. And the extra, you can slot it into the side skirt like this. For storage of the bazooka, we have this flap on the butt that opens like this, and you just put that in there like so. The beam sabers are stored in the backpack. They bend out like this, and the Mark II can actually reach back and grab it. What can I say? They're beam sabers. The Mark II has this other cool accessory. A pair of headphones! Just kidding, these are actually the Gundam's Vulcan pods. They just slide into the head slots like so. The Mark II doesn't have the Vulcan pods built in for some reason. Seems unnecessary, but it makes the Mark II look that much more unique. And the thing that this has over the Titan's version is this display stand. It doesn't really do much aside from bending and sliding in some places. Attaches these tiny people via a wire. But I just love the idea that they give you an option on how to display your Gundam. If you're into dioramas and stuff, better pick up the AEUG version. It's also worth noting that the AEUG version is only a little bit more expensive because of the display stand. If you're just after the Gundam itself though, the Titan's version is completely the same aside from the color. All in all, even with those slight waist problems, it can do pretty much anything you want your Gundam Mark II to do. Plus, this kit has a lot of stuff in it, and for a relatively cheap, master grade at that, it's a real bang for your buck. So if you're a fan of the Mark II or you just want a relatively simple build, you can't go wrong with the Mark II 2.0. And again, if you're into dioramas, better get that AEUG version because that display base is really cool. That's it for this review. I tried to be more comprehensive this time, so I hope it's informative. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!